Hello there. In this video we are going to work on and complete problem number 12 in the Intro to CAD problem set. So let's take a look at it. We have this little widget here that we're going to draw, and it looks like there's a lot of squares and there's some different things. I do not, like the other ones, I do not have a blue line to start, but where we are going to start is we are going to start by drawing this overall square. And just again, another reminder is that, again, this is orthographic projection, so we have the front view and the top view, and again, these things have to line up exactly, not kinda, not maybe, exactly. If it's not exact, it's not done right. So let's take off and let's start working on this with that box. So here we go. Let's start, and it looks like that box is 2.63 inches square. So 2.63 up here. There we go. We got a box that's 2.63 inches. I'm going to move this guy out over here so we can move him up about like this. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw in that small circle in the middle, and it looks like it's right in the middle of the object. 1.31 inches up, 1.31 inches over. Just to be sure, I'm going to draw a square that's 1.31 tab 1.31, and I'm going to pop this guy right in the corner. And on this corner here, I'm going to put the circle. So I'm going to come up, draw our circle. It's a diameter of 0.56 inches. Okay, and now I'm going to take that and I'm going to drop them right there. Right. And there we are. I'm going to delete that square. Now we're in the right place. So now what I'm going to do, now we're going to start working on the bottom piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag some lines down. We'll do it right about here. Okay. Drag the other one down. I'm going to snap onto this guy. Oh, sorry. Snap onto this guy, drag him over. There we go. We're going to draw our line. And now I'm going to delete these guys. And we're going to draw our first vertical lines. And it looks like that first vertical line is 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch right here. We're going to do 3/4 of an inch right there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line across. Okay, I'm going to come back and look at these quick here to make sure they're the same. It looked like one of them wasn't 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch. It doesn't look like it's working, so I'm going to come back and we're going to draw these guys again, just to make sure. And again, guys, this happens. You want to make sure that wasn't working out accurate. So we're going to start again. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do 0.75, and I'm going to come over here and do 0.75. Enter. Okay, now let's see how there we go. Perfect. Now we're going to do our top circle, our top piece here. Let's see. Let's look over here. We're going to do this right here. Okay. So let's come over and come back to Vectorworks. So we know the top. If we were drawing this, the rectangle is the top of it is 1.5 inches off the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line 1.5 inches. Come over here, 1.5. Okay. Now I'm going to draw a line right here. Now it's all centered on this circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line straight down from this. I'm going to draw it to right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this line because I know exactly where it needs to go. Come on, delete. Okay, I can make this guy go away. Now we know that top line is 1.5 inches long. So I'm going to draw a line 1.5 inches. Okay. And I'm going to drag this guy to right here, stick him on the end point, delete this line, drop these lines down, and now we have the basis for our unit here. So let's see, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop these dashed lines that show right down the center in the bottom piece. I'm going to drag a line down, and I'm going to snap it there, I'm going to snap it there, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this guy off. And we need to make these lines dashed. So I'm going to come over here, and I think dash style 2 will work wonderfully. Okay, we'll do it again. Here's our 2 dash lines. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the chamfers right here. So we have chamfers up on top, we have a fillet here, and we have chamfers here. Remember, fillets are curved, chamfers are angled. Let's do the chamfers first. So we'll do the bottom set. Okay, so if that says 45 degrees by 0.125, that means it's the first and the second line will be exactly the same. So we're going to come up here to chamfer, and we're going to do the first line is 0.125. The second line is 0.125. Enter. And again, I want to trim. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to click. Good. Excellent. Now the next chamfer I'm going to do is 0.07. 0.07 and 0.07. And we'll come up here on top. And we've got this guy. Now what we have left to do is we have to do these fillets that are right here. And those are 0.19 inch radius for the fillet. So we'll go to our fillet tool. We'll come up here. And there we go. 0.19. And I'm going to do trim. I'm going to have to fix it just a little bit, but there and there. Okay. I'm going to draw this line right here. Come up, fillet again. And the last line I'm going to draw back in here, so I'm going to draw from arc end to arc end. And there we have our chamfers and we have our fillets. So it looks like we almost have the bottom drawing done, but we have that there's a line that extends across right at the bottom of this chamfer. So we're going to extend to the end point of that line to the end point of the little chamfer. So there we have that line. Okay. I think this bottom part is done other than the center line. So now what we're going to do is we're going to draw up these. We have the 2 outer circles and we have this chamfer up here to draw. So we're going to draw the 2 outer circles first. I'm going to draw the inner circle, and I'm going to use this chamfer point. There's 2 points. Now I'm going to draw. Here we go. So the first circle I'm going to draw is going to be from the center point to here. And the second line is going to be, circle is going to be from the center point to there. And it should all line right up. We'll delete these. So the only thing we have to do now is put in these chamfer marks on the top. And again, it's as simple as extending lines. We'll have to do a little trimming, but that's okay. So I'm going to start this line, come up here. I'm going to start this line, come up here. Oh, there we go. Trim them off. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these, and I'm going to show you a new command. I'm going to hold down the shift key. I'm going to select the first item, hold down the shift key, and select the second item. And now what we're going to use is we're going to use a command over here called rotate. And you're probably going to use rotate fairly often, but if I click on it, you're going to come up over here and you're going to see two modes. Standard mode, many times you're just going to want to rotate something. But in this case, we're going to rotate something and duplicate it. So we're going to use that. And the first thing you do is you click on the center point that everything's going to rotate around, and that's going to be the center point of these circles. So I'm going to click, and I want to make the bar that I'm going to use. So I'm going to click again, and now you see how those blue lines are there? I'm going to click, and here we have all of our lines drawn. So now I'm going to zoom in here quick. Okay, and now we're going to have to do a little trimming. Trim. And then we have to draw a couple lines in. We have to draw these 45-degree angle lines in. All right, let's take a look. Now I would say that looks pretty close. The only thing we need to do is we need to make sure that these items are exactly 2 3/4 inches away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, it looks like it's from this point right here, 2.75, enter. Wow, that was pretty close. So I'm going to draw this guy, and I'm going to select him, and I'm going to drag it down till it hits that line. I'm going to delete that line, and now these guys should be exactly in the place they need to be. So now all we have left is the dimensions. And again, the first things I do are the center marks. Have our center mark, and then I'm going to draw the center line down here, and we all know how to draw that. So I'm going to find the midpoint. Well, I'm going to use the midpoint. I'm going to draw my first line right about here. Do my little dash. Move it away just a little tiny bit. Then I'm going to come down here and mirror this guy around. Again, this is the right thing to do. Don't get lazy and choose and use one of the pre-made lines. This is what separates great drawings from drawings, is the level of detail. So we're going to make this center line. We're going to Control G, group it. Now we're all set. So the first thing, if you look at your drawing, there are a couple degree dimensions. Now there isn't anything in Vectorworks to notate degrees like this. You could do a angular dimension, but this doesn't call for that. So what we're going to do is it's really simple. A lot of people overcomplicate it, but we're going to draw a line, put an arrowhead on it, and then add some text. So I'm going to draw a line. I drew my line. Now if we come over here to attributes, there are some arrowheads, and you can click and you can change the arrowheads, and you can have whatever you want. So now we have our first line there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start text, and I'm going to go 45. Now we don't have a degree symbol in Vectorworks, but I'm going to show you how to do that. 45 degrees at 0.07. Now there isn't a degree tool in Vectorworks, so you have to kind of go out and find a degree symbol. Where I go to find everything is I go to Wikipedia and I type in degree symbol. And if you ever have any other symbols that you can't create on your laptop, this is a great place to find them. So I found degree symbol, so it's pretty simple. Copy, Control C, you come down here, you paste, and Control V, and here's our degree symbol. Now we're going to do the same thing. Now I'm going to come down and I'm just going to copy and drag both these items. I'm going to hold down here. And now what I'm going to change is I'm just going to change this to 0.125. And now those are done. I'm going to zoom out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these linear dimensions and some of the dimensions on the bottom here. Okay, so the first we're going to do is this guy, point. Okay, going to slide out just a little bit. And then we're going to do this top one. No. And we're dimensioning to the top line. Come out right here. All right. We're going to do the top line, and that's from here to here, 1.5 inches. And now we have we have to dimension our fillet right here. So what we're going to do is do our radial. It's a radius. It's an external radius. So we're going to choose this guy, and we're going to do, here we go. Now there's one thing that I forgot, and that is on this dimension is the ×2. So we're going to come down here to trailer. Let's do trailer, and we're going to do space ×2, enter. Now it's right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come up to the top part of the drawing. We're going to finish up our dimensions there. Okay, let's do our first dimension here. (1.1). Okay, that is a little bit different. I'm doing this drawing in not decimal point, but in fractions. Sorry. And we're going to do this last one here. And these numbers work out. So let's do the same thing over here. And we'll do the same thing over here. And I'm going to adjust that dimension just a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to pull this guy out to here. And I'm going to pull this guy out to here. Oh, something got off. Oh no, we're good. All right. Here we go. I'm going to check this quick. No, I did get it off just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to fix this again. This happens. Okay, but if you see an error, you're going to fix it. You want to fix it just like this. So now we have this dimensioned. We're going to come up. We're going to dimension this circle in the center, and that is an external diametrical. External diametrical right here. We need to change the shoulder, and there we go. Let's take a look at it. I think that looks pretty close. Let's take a look over here. I'd say that's looking pretty good. So that is problem number 12. Thank you very much. These problems are going to start taking a little bit longer because they're more complex, but thanks for sticking with me. Hopefully this is helping, and I'll see you back for problem 13.